Rev up your engines!
Josh Sig said, how many years are needed before we can determine the reliability of a model of a car? Very good question. I generally say at least 5 years, because I've seen things screw up before 5 years. When somebody comes up with a brand new model, and if it's a radical change, don't buy it. Look at my perfect advice I gave people. Toyota went from making nothing but V8 Tundras, and then they said, we're only going to put turbo V6s in. Guess what? They got to replace 100,000 engines because they didn't work out right when they went to that new design. Was I right or was I right? You don't want to waste your money on crap that people are using you as a guinea pig for. That's why tried and true is the way to go. Why do you think Toyota sold millions of Camrys and tens of millions of Corollas? Because they keep perfecting them incrementally over time. But even with those, when they come up with a new design, I say, hold it back. The early CVTs the Corollas had, they had some problems. Now they don't at all. So I'd say about 5 years. First question is Damian P. He says, Scotty, 2017 to 19 Jaguar XE with a 2-liter turbo 4-cylinder engine. What's your overall opinion? How many miles can they last? Endless money pits. They're Jaguars. Now I understand Jaguars are owned by the Indian company Tata. Chinese company owns a part of them. A 4-cylinder turbo is not a good idea in most cars anyways because they're going to wear out faster. Yeah, you get horsepower, but you don't have the oomph of a 6-cylinder or an 8-cylinder engine with more torque. It does it at higher RPMs. It wears out faster. And of course, being a Jaguar, they're endless money pits. They were even talking about dropping Jaguar entirely. Tata, and just doing the Range Rover. They own Range Rover. They're making money on the Range Rovers. But they were thinking about dropping Jaguars altogether. That's bad quality that they have. And how long can they last? That's anyone's guess. I've seen engines blow up at 40,000 miles. You name it. They're not very well made. Jordan Vollmer says, Scotty, my mom has a 2016 Toyota Sakura with 77,000 miles. It rough starts in the cold. Any suggestions? 9 years old, because the 25 models have been out for a while. So it's a 9-year-old vehicle. Start with the simple crap. Change the air filter. Change the spark plugs. You can watch my video. Make your car run better with a little spray cleaner. You can get throttle spray cleaner, clean the throttle. Generally, that's enough to make them go. They don't usually have problems after that. Now, if, say, you get a bit of bad gas where you live, maybe there's bad gas, get some fuel injector cleaner, put it in the tank, because if the injectors aren't spraying right, it can do it too. But in Toyotas, generally, injectors last almost forever, so try the first thing. Usually fixes it pretty easily. Star Platinum Step on me says, yo, Scotty, I'm planning on selling my 2016 Tacoma for a 2021 Titan. Do you think it's a great choice? I need a bigger work truck. Okay, the Titans are decent trucks, and they got V8 engines. A lot more power. There's no arguing that. But if I were you, I would rather get rid of the Tacoma and get a Tundra, because you're talking about a 2021 Titan, right? They didn't screw up the Tundras putting only V6 engines until, the other year. So there would still be a V8 engine. I would definitely get the Tundra before I'd get the Titan. But if you know somebody's selling a Titan at a good price, their V8 engines are good. They're just like the Toyotas. There's no difference in terms of they're all gas hogs. Big V8 engines in a pickup truck. They get horrible gas mileage. But Alena says, Acura RSX, I start the engine, metal rattling under the car. It warms up, it goes away. Sometimes the accelerator comes back. 99.99%. Your catalytic converter is coming apart. Catalytic converter burns hydrocarbons. It's an anti-pollution device, right? And the way it works is it's got a metal shell. So on the outside, it looks like a muffler, but it's not a muffler. Inside, there are these honeycomb structures that the gas goes through and it burns any excess hydrocarbons so it doesn't pollute. Now, that honeycomb structure is made out of ceramics. And what happens is when they break, then the ceramic rattles inside the metal. When you start up when it's cold, you hear it. But once it heats up, it expands and then it doesn't rattle. But sometimes if you accelerate hard, all that exhaust gas going out makes it rattle again. Go under there first thing in the morning when it's cold, jack the car up, put jack stands, sit under there, have somebody start the car, and you'll probably hear it right where the catalytic converter is. It'll be rattling. And that. Now, on the other hand, if it runs okay, you can live with it. If they eventually break and it clogs up the system, the pieces will rattle around, then they'll block holes, and then it won't be able to throw the exhaust out fast enough. Then your temperature gauge will go higher. You won't be able to go over a certain speed, like it'll only go 50 and not any faster. Then you would have to replace the catalytic converter. Derek says, looking for a car for my 15-year-old daughter. Any suggestions? Gee, I don't know too many places they let you drive when you're 15. Even I had to start when I was 16. Well, girls are generally more conservative than boys. They're not insane. Depending on how much money you want to spend and what you want to get. Let's say you want a really safe car and you believe big is safe. Look for an old Grand Marquis or a Crown Victoria. They're full-frame, solid vehicles, right? But if you want something economical, look at like Toyota Corollas. They have airbags in them. They work perfectly fine. The Toyota products, especially the older ones, I'm assuming you're buying used and not brand new. Now, if you're going brand new, I mean, hey, buy a brand new Toyota or a brand new Honda, whatever one you want to buy. They're both well made. AG says, Bosch scanners suck. Their software sucks. Okay, there's many scanners out there, right? And I agree with you entirely. Bosch sent me one of their top-of-the-line scanners a few years ago. I used it, I don't know, 8 or 10 times. I haven't used it in years. It sucked. It was a piece of crap. It really was. You'd think Bosch, the company, German company, would make some really good stuff, but no, it was garbage. Most of the time for high-level scanners now, I use my MaxiSys Ultra, which is an Autel product. And it's a killer. It blows that Bosch away. Eileen Bardo says, I got a 98 Ford Expedition. The blend doors are wonky. Can you think of a quick fix to keep the doors on the hot side for the winter? Can I duct tape them? Okay, the easiest thing to do is try to get to where the actuators are. And what you could do is you could disconnect the little arms from the actuators and then pull the arms to the heat position and then use a little mechanics wire to make them stay in place. I've done that for many people over the years because once you get them in heat position, you just put a little mechanic wire around the rod and then anywhere you can find or drill a hole in a plastic piece, put the other end of the mechanics wire, tighten it up, and it'll stay in that position. Then in the summer, you can just take it up, push it back up. I've done that for lots of them because fixing them costs a small fortune. DJ Callback says, I got an 04 Tundra, 125,000 miles. Should the lower ball joints be replaced? Well, if they're worn, yes. If they're not, no. Now, the easy thing, just look at them first. If the rubber boot is ripped, yeah, then replace them because it's going to be worn and it's torn. But if the boot's still good and you jack it up and it doesn't clunk when you pull on the wheels, you don't get clunks when you go over bumps, leave them alone. My grandson's got one. He's got almost 300,000 miles and he just changed them. It took all that wear it out. So, you only got 125,000 miles. They should last a lot longer than that. Now, if it was a Chrysler product, I say, yeah, do it as preventive maintenance because they're crap and they're going to snap off soon. Swag Demand says, how important is it to do a fuel injection cleaning service on a Lexus with 51,000 miles? It's not important. Oh, you wouldn't have to do anything. I've never done a fuel injection service on my wife's Lexus, and it's 24 years old. And it still runs like a clock. You buy good gasoline, change your oil and filter normally, take care of the cooling system so it doesn't corrode stuff. You don't have to use it. Those things are well made. They really don't need cleaning. That's an upsell that a lot of people do. We got to service your fuel injection system. That'll be $199.95. Most of the time, it's not needed. Now, if you got a Volkswagen with the GDI engine, yeah, you're going to get carbon buildup. You have to do it a lot, but not on the Lexus. Trumpet says, Scotty, how can I fix my CV axle front rubber? Okay, if your CV axle, the rubber's ripped, the grease gets out, and then it destroys itself. If your rubber's ripped, you can buy a boot kit, but then you got to take the axle off the car. You have to disassemble it, which is a pain in the butt. Then clean it all out, put new grease in, put the boot on, put it all back together again. Truthfully, and this may sound insane, more economically viable, and it will last longer because if your boot's ripped, dirt got in there and your joints already got some wear in it. More economical, feasible, just buy the whole axle. They have so many aftermarket ones that work perfectly fine, they're remanufactured ones, that, yeah, you go to the dealer, oh, we want $789 for the CV axle assembly. Buy a remanufactured or a brand new one. They're probably $80, and the boot kit will probably cost you $60, and you got to get all that work. Just replace the whole thing. Now, I mean, if you want, you can go take it all apart, put it together. It's a messy, stinking job, and like I say, it's probably already worn if the boot ripped because dirt got in it. Abdul Bilal says, should I get a 2018 CRV or a 2018 RAV4 at 62,000 miles. You know what my advice is with that? They're very similar vehicles. Road test them both. Buy the one you like better. They're both well made. They got the same mileage on it. They're both excellent vehicles, right? Most people, the CR-V's a little zippier. If you like zippy, you're probably like that. The RAV4 might last a little bit longer since they're both used. You got to get them checked out either way. If you like one over the other, don't buy any of them till you have a mechanic check it out, because they're used cars. You don't know the history. You don't know if it's been wrecked, flooded, or stolen. And a mechanic like myself, I can tell you if it's in good shape or not in an hour check. 1 hour. If you're in Portsmouth, Rhode Island, I do it for free. December, January, February, March, I'll be back in Clarksville, Tennessee. I check them out for free. People then too. I check it out for free and tell you. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.